I'm John Arking. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. A homeless man was found dead Friday in the grass at the Flagler Plaza Shopping Center. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office says a deputy was called to the plaza shortly after noon following a report from an employee of one of the businesses about a body. The employee initially thought the person, since identified as 45-year-old Mark Smith, was sleeping, but she reportedly called 911 after noticing he had not moved in several hours. Smith was found near a fire hydrant between two rows of bushes, lying on his back on top of a pile of his personal belongings. He was unresponsive, and paramedics pronounced him dead at the scene. An investigation was begun, and staff from the medical examiner's office arrived and removed the body. There were no suspicious signs of trauma on his body or at his known campsite near Coconut's Car Wash. However, it was learned Smith had used other names in other parts of the county, but the deputy was unable to match a Florida ID with a Social Security number.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Sunwing Airlines nonstop to Toronto, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
The Florida legislature is looking at school funding. 24th District Representative Paul Renner says per-student spending throughout Florida has gone up every year that he's been in the legislature. Right now, it's up to $242 per student per day. But now Renner says there is compression, which he said takes into account how much is paid and how much is received for school funding.
We are big losers in that we give a lot, we receive very little. So we're in the top 10 of givers, we're in the bottom 10 of recipients.
Renner said that with compression, Flagler, Volusia, and St. Johns counties lose less. He said that counties like Miami-Dade get more because it costs more to live there. Flagler County School Superintendent Jim Tager said that with the compression funding, our schools are doing well.
We're receiving over $700,000, which kind of helps us because we do get 95 cents to the dollar.
Tager said that the formula for school funding is antiquated and that several people are working to update it so that it will be more favorable for Flagler schools next year. You can hear the full interview on the Free for All Friday podcast available at WNZF.com. Tomorrow, flagship funding for Flagler schools. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office selected a new medical contractor for the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility. After months of interviews and research of the 5 bids received, Southern Correctional Medicine, or SCM, was chosen to take over medical care for inmates at the jail. During the selection process, the Sheriff's Office interviewed many current SCM clients, and officials say they all gave the company outstanding reviews. In addition to interviewing clients, litigation and news reports were also researched, as were proposed service levels and proposed quality of care. At the end of the review and the assessment, SCM was recommended by the sheriff's staff to be the jail medical provider. SCM also offered additional hours of higher-level care providers than the jail's previous medical contractor, resulting in 2 nurses on duty Monday through Friday and 1 nurse on duty during nights and weekends. The jail will also have a mid-level care provider and a medical doctor available for more on-site medical hours during each week. SCM will begin providing services May 31st. An illegal gambling operation was shut down and cash and equipment seized. While on patrol a few months ago, Sheriff Rick Staley responded to Dakota Joe's Senior Entertainment Center in Bunnell on an unrelated call. While there, Staley says he noticed some suspicious activity that resembled electronic gambling. That led to several undercover operations at Dakota Joe's by detectives with the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Special Investigation Unit, which they discovered gaming devices in the establishment, pay winners in money. That discovery enabled detectives to secure a search warrant on the building for gambling-related offenses. That was executed on Friday evening. While no arrests were made, 5 gaming machines and monetary proceeds related to the gambling were seized. Sheriff Staley says the business had previously been warned about illegal gambling with a cease and desist letter in November, and they were given fair warning that their activity is illegal in Florida. Electronic gambling is a violation of Florida law and makes the owner liable for criminal charges. Additionally, employees and customers may be criminally charged. The investigation remains ongoing. And finally, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office will be hosting a law enforcement memorial and candlelight vigil tonight at 7:45. The ceremony honors all law enforcement officers who have died in the line of duty with a memorial walk lit by blue candlelight that starts at the Flagler Courthouse in Bunnell and will end outside the Sheriff's Operations Center. Sheriff Rick Staley.
If persons cannot walk, they could go direct to the Operations Center. We will not be going inside the Operations Center. Everything will be held on the outside of that building. If there's inclement weather where we cannot do the walk or hold the service at the Operations Center, we will use the first floor of the courthouse and the jury assembly room.
Once the participants all arrive at the Operations Center, the law enforcement memorial ceremony will begin. The event is free and open to the public. And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm John Arking.